Public Service Union threatened to decampaign MPs supporting the Public Service Amendment Bill. A Zimbabwean woman admits concealing birth after twins found in plastic bag in Odi. And President Hichilema rallies thousands as Zambia heads to presidential vote. Good evening and welcome to our 7 p.m. live. It is a great pleasure to have your company. My name is Lone Rancholo and thank you for joining us. A coalition of public service union has rejected the government's decision to table the Public Service Act Amendment Bill of 2026 before Parliament. The unions have warned that any member of Parliament who supports the bill will be closely monitored, saying they will mobilize Botswana not to vote for such MPs again, as they would no longer be representing the interest of the public in Parliament.
The coalition, which includes Bufebuso, BFTU, Tau, Mogo, and other unions, says the government did not consult the trade unions before deciding to table the Public Service Act Amendment Bill before Parliament. They accuse the government of violating workers' rights by proceeding with the proposed amendment without adequate consultation.
Mongwe mo ko parlamenteng ye tare mola o ka tiso go bone a o ema nokeng re ta bare le bagalele mongwe le mo yo o ko parlamenteng a thopilwe ke batho a ka tsa tsetso ya gore wa go ema nokeng amendment e ta diwa re ta bare mo libile e be re ta mo kwala mo dibukeng tsa di buitshepo gore ke mongwe o sa siamelang le hatsi. We have
never been consulted. Baba itse molao ba itse gore go na le concept ya go the meaningful consultation. How paletswe the minimum consultation that we can achieve ke go teng meaningful. Me a re se re bone e pehela consultation re kopana le molao wo ko parlamente. Me bile ke na nkolehela bo rai bongwe bo re bo bonang morwalela o tlang ke gore yone act ya Labor Relations Act, if you look at section 245 subsection 1 and 2, e dirisitse mahoko mangwe a rulaganyang gore ha o ipatlela gore o letlelelwe go buelela batho mo tirong o ka dira jang.
The unions say if the Botswana government does not reverse its decision, they will take appropriate action. This could include taking Botswana before international bodies such as the International Labour Organization, ILO. They say such action is intended to highlight what they describe as the government. They say such action is intended to highlight what they describe as the government's failure to uphold workers' rights, warning that this could damage Botswana's reputation as a peaceful and democratic country.
It takes about a year for ngwaga na bo le listing ya mahatsa a sekwa ibile go tswa mo goreng wena go kgontsho e we dirang ke a selebo se se kana ka ibile e ya go tsela batho dithata go le kae mo maabane wa bone ba batlang go ira ditsoele kgantse re se tlo di tswa kae go na ntare nyalo ka nalo ya go le ya teng le gone go la o feila and people tsa bone tsa ba di buang. We are resolute, we are going to be taking the steps.
Meanwhile, the unions say they are beginning to raise their voices over the constitutional review process. Speaking to the media recently, Bofebuso President Khotlamang Uitsile said the constitutional review process was not inclusive and urged for more open and comprehensive approach to the constitutional amendment. He stressed that they want a constitutional review that protects the rights of all citizens.
Constitutional review, re tsere, ibile re tsaitse modumo, e be re simolola go tsholetsa lentse le go eta ga ke ra e letelela ga ke a re bona seemo sa lehatsi dipolagano di lekane ga ke re bona seemo sa lehatsi tsulo ya ditshwanelo tsa batho ka bongwe e lekane ra dumelana le se se ka sekeng re batla constitutional review e re nna le bone re tswang kgakala re dumela mo go yone go ditshwanelo tsa babereki ditshwanelo tsa batswana di nne teng mo teng ke a itse ba bangwe ba dumela le tsamaiso yo ka gore ba na le tsholelo ya gore ga go ka dira concord ba tla bona ditiro ko teng at the expenses of the public. A professor a dumela le go mo ntseng jang mo re gore bona dithata tsa teng di se kana ka sepe tsa di buang tautong tse re tswang ga le bone re belela ka dithata tse di kana kana mme re bona ba di tsweise bile ba di oketsa go go tse re ka seletela sentse yalo batswana ba sa itseng ba ka dumela go mo go siame ga go a ba siamela ebile go busula.
Meanwhile, trade unions say the government's effort to create divisions among among them will not succeed, maintaining that they remain united and will continue to speak with one to voice defend workers' rights.
Dikgang tse di builweng ke comrade Malome Motshwara Kgwele le tse di builweng ke comrade Ale ke dikgang tse le gore di boammaaruri di tlhokana le gore rona re le babereki e be re tshwaragane rona re le makgotla a babereki e be re tshwaragane mme re le bosetu re tlhomamisa gore re tla tshwaragana le makgotla a babereki go lwa kgang e leng gore mohiri ga ra tshwana gore re mo letelele ka letsatsi lepe gore a dirise bangwe ba rona jaaka diphone kana mo gaming ya chess go na le bilong go te phone e leng gore yone la e jwa ha ena mosola mme re le bosetu ga rena go kitla re na diphone mo skiming sa mohiri.
Le Botswana Teachers Union, we are very clear to say ga rena go amogela kana go letelela mohiri go tsaya ditshwetso tse leng gore we are not there at the table. All the decisions that the government takes, we believe we must be invited to the dinner.
Le rona re ba Doctors Union, we stand in solidarity with our sister and brother unions. Says that we are against the decision ya goromente gore a ba tsere kgwetlho a ba tsere tshwetso to say that the bargaining council should be mandatory. Because one, our position as the unions is that we believe that the PSBC is voluntary. Making it mandatory goes even against international standards and international practices. Just as Maluma says, it goes against ILO conventions, 87, 98, and 151 that speaks on our rights for freedom of association and our rights for collective bargaining. So our position as the BDU is that we stand in solidarity with our federations and unions.
Mohiri a kopane le trade union re equal partners. Mme a ka re equal partners re na le tumelo ya gore sepe se e leng gore mohiri o batla go se dira gore tshwanetse gore a re engage a ba itse gore re bona dilo ka tsela e ntseng jang. Ga re na tumelo ya gore mohiri o tshwanetse gore a dumele gore se e leng gore ene o sa akantse ke se e leng gore ke se siametseng mmereki. Rona re le baeteledipele ba di-trade unions sepe se ra be re se dira nako e ntse re be re ntse re engagile ba e leng gore ba emetse re tsaya megopolo mo go bone hela jaaka le bone ba politiki ka ga ba dirang ka teng ba ya ko diwading ba go tsaya megopolo mo rona ba e leng gore ba tlhophile mme se re se itemogela nako e ntsi ke gore jaanong ga go setse go tsenwa ka kwa go gore o motho ha e le gore o setse o batliwa gore o e go tlhopha ka gore ba kgona go tsena door to door ba batla tlhopho ya gago mme yaanong ga go tla nako ya gore ba tle go reetsa gore yaanong ngwana o tlhoka e mo go bone ke gone ga ile gore yaanong ba ikgokela morago ba bona gore gore nna le dilo dingwe tse e le gore ba ka di dira ba sa go rerise.
Veteran Trade Unionist Johnson Motswara-Khwale says the government may believe it can divide the country's trade unions, but the strategy will not succeed. Motswara-Khwale says by their nature, trade unions believe in solidarity, unity, even when they may disagree on certain issues.
So sa se itumedisang ke gore ha mogoremente ene o na le thuye seo wa tla nne le kakanyo ya gore o ka kgaoganya di-trade union mme ke batla go le tlhomamisetsa di-trade union ha o ka kwa di kgaoganya you can only delay o dia go kopana ga bone by nature di-trade union ke batho ba solidarity regardless ebile ke bone botshelo ba rona ya re tshwanetse gore ba itse le rona ra le bolelela gore nnyaa ga le bona e kete ra ne re gapana ka magoko ke ka ga modimo o ratang gore le lebe dilo ka pharologanyo ka teng mme ope hela la ge ka nna goromente o thata bo lekanang kana o seka wa nna le kakanyo ya gore o ka tsenya di-trade union mo kgetsaneng ga go kgonege ga iseng ke go kgonege the political parties di tla nyelela go tla sala trade union tsotlhe di tla nyelela mme trade union e tla sala ke ke nyelela ya lona ba le salang le sale le itse so o tlhoko le tla le se bona. Labor movement is labor movement ke sone se re le biditseng gore le tle re tla go le budisa ka dikgakgamatso tse re di utlwang ha ile gore na le batho go bo go ira bili ya parlament kana ha le bona bili ya parlament ne go tule ya go kwalwa mo sephiri ra be re itse ha be re ntsha ka musika se khurumela yana ba ira bili e be ile gore e rongwa re mohasa o gato tla ba go ibuanya ya ka se business bua ba basha ibile ga bana experience ya go tsamaisa puso ibile ga bana experience ya go itsetsepela ga ba tshwana go re gogela go goreng re ire hit list against them and we'll do that.
In other news, a 23-year-old Zimbabwean woman has appeared before the Broadhurst Magistrate Court in Gaborone, facing serious charges of concealing the birth of twins and illegally entering Botswana through an ungazetted point of entry. Sengobile Ndlovu, an unemployed resident from Odi, was arraigned on charges stemming from an incident allegedly linked to the death of a disposal of newborn twins. Our reporter Lamel Lucas with the details.
According to the charge sheet in Ndlovu, he is accused of concealing birth, an offence under Section 223 of the Penal Code. Court documents allege that on August 1st, she gave birth to twins at Masukudu Ward in Odi and later secretly disposed of their bodies in a black plastic. When the charge was read before the court, Ndlovu pleaded guilty. The court also heard that Ndlovu faces a separate immigration-related charge. Prosecutors allege that sometime between January 2025 and August 2026, on a date yet to be determined, she entered Botswana illegally near Mokgabana village in the Northeast District. State Prosecutor Moluki Solfera told the court that investigations are still at an early stage and requested that the accused be remanded in custody while police continue the inquiries. According to court papers, Ndlovu allegedly crossed into Botswana by jumping over the fence that marks part of the border between Botswana and Zimbabwe rather than using an official border post. Solfera described the case as a fresh matter requiring further investigation. Ndlovu remains in custody and is expected to return to Broadhurst Magistrate Court on August 25 for a status hearing. Reporting for TV News, I am Lami Lucas.
And still to come in this bulletin, President Hifikepunye rallies 1,000 as Zambia heads to presidential vote. Stay with us.
Lunch with your fave.
I will be serving up a delicious hour of exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes stories with the biggest name in the entertainment industry.
Lunch with your faves, Saturday at 8 p.m.
Only on YTV.
We needed to show the accounting officers that we mean business.
Right.
That we're serious.
Do they hate you, some of the accounting officers?
I hope not. I hope not. I'm not sure. I hope not. I've heard some of them don't like me much.
Yeah.
But I hope they don't, because not that I'm out of my way to trouble anyone.
Right.
I'm just looking at. I had many calls from the public servants. Right. So sometimes they can feel a little bit of their medicine. That's how they talk to their juniors. That's how they treat them. So they must know that there are people who are senior to them as well.
Yeah.
Remember, the Klopoze didn't change up puso. Didn't based on issues that were right or sense. So kanya go sense is kayiri sembarotle.
ba re o se bone na ka tsapudi go patagana bola ditswa le jone badimong se ke maaka maakela malata marutwa ka khomo maakela malata masthana a sana tsa one tlogano ke na ka la phala o mokokoto makoko makopa ka mpa isana motlhala bshimane ke tswantswe lo sekolo di thona mo tswele sa letso mo di kalela tsa mo lo di kwata ba ka makotipudi ya majwe ka makotipudi ya majwe se ke matlhasedi ya Setswana thulaganyo e ka yone re upa upang ditsangwao re upa upang bontle re upa upang kitso tsa Setswana tse di matshodi matshophe ke matlhasedi ya thulaganyo e ka yone re upa upang ditsangwao.
Today we are diving into a topic that's at the heart of everyone's financial journey: financial security. In an unpredictable world, securing your finances isn't just about saving money. It's about building a solid foundation for the future. Joining us today is Bupero to help us explore what it really means to achieve financial security and how you can take steps to get there.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we now take a look at the stories from around the world. In Zambia, tens of thousands of supporters gathered in Lusaka for President Hakainde Hichilema's final campaign rally ahead of tomorrow's election, as the incumbent seeks a second term and concerns over jobs, living costs, and allegations of opposition intimidation. Supporters of the ruling United Party for National Development, dressed in red and waving party flags, filled a former opposition stronghold south of Lusaka as Hichilema sought to energize his base. The 64-year-old president, who took office in 2001, urged voters to back the UPND in tomorrow's election.
Tens of thousands of supporters of Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema gathered in Lusaka for his final major campaign rally 2 days before the country votes. Hichilema, who came to power in 2021, is seeking a second 5-year term, campaigning on his record on education, jobs, and economic recovery.
Day after tomorrow, 13th of August,
everywhere I have been, people have agreed that on Thursday they will vote for the UPND. Have you also agreed to vote for the UPND? Vote for the UPND on Thursday. If I say Thursday UPND, you respond, tick a lot of salt. Supporters credit the president with bringing greater political stability and investing in schools and public services. But for many Zambians, those gains are being weighed against unemployment, high living costs, and pressure on household incomes.
Well, honestly, I've been from Kaunda era, Chilwa era, all these eras which have passed as president. For the first time in my life,
Let me see the hands for those that will vote for the UPND.
I don't care about the money because I can work for it. That the peace is what I really, really love about this president. That's all.
Hichilema is facing a stronger opposition than initially expected from newcomer Brian Mundubile, who has accused authorities of abducting and detaining opposition figures, journalists and other critics. He says the election must be allowed to take place without fear or intimidation.
I'm expecting very peaceful elections, as it has been already, because some time back you were not peaceful at all. I'm telling you, seeing people, having a presidential rally, they are free in their markets, shops are open. It really gives me a picture that we are really having a peaceful election than before.
With campaigning now over, Zambia's voters face a choice between continuity under Hichilema and a growing opposition challenge with jobs, living costs and the credibility of the democratic process all at stake.
And now in business, U.S. stock closed lower as investor concerns over Iran's Strait of Hormuz stands weigh on markets. Tech stock fell while alternative assets managers roll on AI-related partnerships.
U.S. stocks ended lower on Tuesday, with the Dow and S&P 500 each dropping about 0.33% and the Nasdaq shedding 0.6%. Investors became more pessimistic about a peace deal with Iran after one of its top officials said the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed as long as the U.S. does not change its behavior and accept Iran's conditions to end the war. That kept Brent crude futures near one-week highs. Liz Miller is founder and president of Summit Place Financial Advisors.
I think investors are certainly frustrated at the back and forth communication flow and expectations out of our conflict with Iran. But they're also starting to try to look through this. For the longest time, investors have been saying, even if there was a quick end, we knew that the effects on oil would take many months to unfold. And so it was always about the famous words, the duration and the depth of the conflict. And what we're finding out is the depth may not be the problem, but the duration is.
Among the day's movers, tech stocks dragged, with Amazon dipping about 2% and Alphabet and SpaceX each dropping almost 4%. Alternative asset managers rose, with Apollo Global up more than 6% and Blackstone rallying almost 4%. They were among the financial institutions that recently partnered with NVIDIA to establish compute financing platforms aimed at raising over $500 billion in third-party capital for AI infrastructure. And shares of Super Microcomputer rose about 9% in extended trading after the server maker forecast fiscal 2027 revenue above Wall Street expectations, betting that strong demand for its AI-optimized servers would fuel another year of growth. Investors now turn their attention to inflation readings due over the next 2 days, which could be crucial in shaping market expectations on the Federal Reserve's policy path.
And now we take a very short break followed by a sports update.
Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Hot like a heater.
The side ya Musulis and the Chiefs Lebone, they've made a lot of signings. So some of the combinations in that friendly encounter.
yeah, it was a good game because kind of the dates league or Ricky Annonciana. Some of the games right now they have a lot of work to do. Even though they have the financial boost, they have sent those players. Maramia, what the right now, get the chemistry. And how they have sent more than 8 signings or both have the experience, the skill, the talent, they all deserve the first 11. So this is not out here good or home piano. How could you guys that's like a man out of a man couldn't when I'm going to what you always like about we tell about set, but then what I'm going to. It's about a little question why it was the most.
Catch Betway Sports Offers. This program is proudly brought to you by Betway.
Welcome back in our sports tonight. Habur United Football Club Head of Communications Tsepo Molwane has told YTV Sports that preparations for the upcoming busy schedule is currently going well as they have some friendly games lined up before the start of their season. Moyaholele, as family known, will take on Tanzania side Young Africans on the first preliminary stage of the CAF Champions League, slated for the 5th of September 2026.
I think the pre-season preparations have gone well so far. We are in week 6. The preparations. We've played a couple of friendly matches. Most importantly, I'm co-joining a weekend ago where we played more joining General Manager's Soccer Fiesta. The good part about the Jordan games was the fact that the African stars here in Namibia, the Namibian champions, ba khonne go ka re fa motshameko nne gore ke tsala gore bokatisi bo thusegile go bona gore in terms of preparations re tsamaya fa kae mme the preparations are ongoing. Ka weekend re tla be re na le motshameko wa Sunbet Charity Cup gone mo lebaleng la Habur United Hanoha re tshameka le Mochudisana Chiefs 3:30 mo tshokologong. Is a high profile fixture le ona re dumelang gore e tla ya ntse re thusa go ka bona gore re tsamaya kae mme hela ke tsala gore so far so good. We are happy with the preparations. Before we get to the game, Young Africans Tanzania first leg on the 5th of September. We will play 1 or 2 games. But all in all, we are happy. The new signings, they're gelling in well, more teaming. So far so good.
In international sports, taking a look at the ongoing 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, the continent will be expecting mouth-watering fixtures this evening as 4 nations will be taking center stage to take a step closer to be crowned Queens of Africa. This evening, host Morocco will take on Cameroon, while second semi-final debutant Malawi will face Algeria. And that's all the sports update for tonight. Let's now take a recap of tonight's headlines. Public Service Union threatened to decampaign MPs for supporting the Public Service Amendment Bill. A Zimbabwean woman admits concealing birth after twins found in plastic bag in OD. And President Hichilema rallies thousands as Zambia head to presidential vote. That's all the news we had for you tonight. Thank you once again for watching YTV. You can follow us on our Facebook page or get in touch with us on our WhatsApp line. That is 74119209. From myself, Alwan and the rest of the YTV news crew, good night.